At 45,000 feet above the Atlantic, there is a silence most people will never experience. A silence where the world disappears beneath a sheet of clouds and time stops mattering. Now imagine crossing continents in that silence, faster, farther, and smoother than almost any aircraft in its class, while sitting inside one of the most underrated luxury jets ever built. This is not just aviation. This is controlled freedom at Mach speed. And this is the Embraer Praetor 600. In a world where private aviation is dominated by legacy giants and billion-dollar reputations, one aircraft quietly challenged the hierarchy without asking for permission. The Embraer Praetor 600 is not the loudest name in luxury aviation. It doesn't rely on decades of prestige like Gulfstream or Bombardier. Instead, it does something more dangerous to its competitors. It outperforms expectations. Designed in Brazil by Embraer's elite engineering division, the Praetor 600 entered the ultra-long-range business jet market with a bold promise: intercontinental capability in a super-midsize frame. And remarkably, it delivers. This is the story of a jet that redefines what midsize really means, and why some of the world's most experienced flyers quietly prefer it over aircraft twice its size. Standing still on the tarmac, the Praetor 600 looks like it's already in motion. Its silhouette is sharp, deliberate, almost sculpted by airflow itself. Every line on the fuselage has a purpose. Nothing feels decorative. Everything feels engineered. The wing design is one of its most defining characteristics. With advanced winglets and a carefully optimized aerodynamic profile, the aircraft cuts through resistance with minimal drag, giving it efficiency numbers that surprise even seasoned pilots. From a distance, it carries a quiet confidence, not oversized, not flashy, but undisputably premium. And when the engines spool up, there is a controlled power, never aggressive, always composed. It's the kind of presence that doesn't demand attention, yet always gets it.
Step inside, and the transformation begins immediately. The cabin of the Praetor 600 is where Embraer made its most aggressive statement against its competitors. At first glance, it feels larger than its category suggests. That is not an illusion. It is engineering. The cabin is designed with optimized space utilization, giving passengers a sense of openness that rivals larger aircraft. Seats are handcrafted, fully lie flat, and arranged in a configuration that prioritizes both privacy and conversation. Whether you're conducting business mid-flight or resting on a transcontinental journey, the environment adapts to you. Materials are carefully curated: soft Italian leather, polished wood accents, and metal finishes that feel cold to the touch but warm to the eye. Lighting plays a subtle but powerful role. The dynamic LED system adjusts throughout the flight, simulating natural circadian rhythms. Morning light feels soft and awakening. Evening transitions feel calm, almost therapeutic. And then there is silence. Not absolute silence, but a carefully engineered quietness that makes conversation effortless and rest natural. Embraer's sound insulation system reduces cabin noise to levels that feel almost surreal at cruising altitude. Even at Mach 0.83, the cabin remains composed, steady, and refined. This is not just comfort. This is controlled serenity at 45,000 feet. Forward of the cabin, the cockpit reveals the true intelligence behind the Praetor 600. At its core is the Collins Aerospace ProLine Fusion avionics suite, an integrated digital flight system that turns complex aviation data into intuitive control. For pilots, the experience is fluid. Large, high-resolution displays replace traditional complexity with clarity. Flight paths, weather systems, and navigation data are layered seamlessly, reducing workload and increasing precision. One of the most impressive systems on board is the predictive turbulence technology. Instead of reacting to turbulence, the aircraft anticipates it, adjusting altitude and route in advance to maintain passenger comfort. Fly-by-wire controls ensure that every movement of the aircraft is refined, stable, and efficient. Even in challenging conditions, the Praetor 600 feels less like a machine being flown and more like a machine that understands where it is going. And that distinction matters at this level of aviation, because in the world of private jets, control is not just about flying, it is about predictability, safety, and trust.
Now we arrive at the question that defines this aircraft. How far can it really go? On paper, the Praetor 600 offers a range of approximately 4,018 nautical miles. But numbers alone do not tell the full story. In real-world conditions, varying winds, payload, and cruising adjustments, the aircraft consistently demonstrates the ability to connect cities that redefine expectations for a super-midsize jet. Cruising at Mach 0.83, the Praetor 600 balances speed and efficiency with precision. It is not designed to be the fastest jet in the sky, but it is engineered to be one of the most efficient long-range performers in its category. When compared to competitors like Gulfstream or Bombardier aircraft in higher classes, the Praetor 600 does something unexpected. It enters conversations it technically shouldn't belong in. Not by exceeding size, but by maximizing capability within its frame. Fuel efficiency is another quiet advantage. Embraer's engineering focus on aerodynamic optimization and engine performance allows the aircraft to achieve longer range with lower fuel consumption than many rivals in similar mission profiles. This is where the Praetor 600 earns respect, not through marketing, but through mission execution. So, who actually flies the Praetor 600? The answer is more interesting than expected. It is not only billionaires with fleets of jets. It is also entrepreneurs scaling global companies. It is executives who need efficiency over extravagance. It is high net worth individuals who understand that time, not size, is the real luxury. For many owners, the Praetor 600 represents a strategic choice. It is the aircraft you choose when you want intercontinental capability without the operational weight of a large cabin jet. When you want luxury but also agility. When you want prestige but not excess. It fits into private aviation like a precision tool rather than a statement piece. And ironically, that makes it even more attractive to those who already have everything. Because true luxury is not always about being seen. Sometimes it is about being exactly where you need to be, faster than anyone expected. In terms of pricing, the Embraer Praetor 600 sits around the mid-$20 million range, depending on configuration and customization. Compared to ultra-long-range heavy jets that can exceed $70–80 million, the value proposition becomes clear. You are not paying for size, you are paying for capability and efficiency. And this is where the Praetor 600 quietly disrupts the market. It challenges the assumption that range and luxury must always come with massive scale. Instead, it proves that intelligent engineering can compress performance into a more accessible category. For operators and owners, that means lower operating costs, reduced fuel consumption, and increased mission flexibility. In a world where private aviation costs are constantly rising, that combination is not just attractive, it is strategic. At its core, the Embraer Praetor 600 is more than an aircraft. It is a reflection of modern luxury evolution. Where once aviation was defined by size and dominance, it is now defined by intelligence and efficiency. It represents a shift in mindset, away from excess and toward precision. Because when you are flying above continents at nearly the speed of sound, luxury is no longer about gold finishes or oversized cabins. It is about freedom. Freedom from distance, freedom from time zones, freedom from limitation itself. And somewhere between takeoff and cruising altitude, the Praetor 600 stops feeling like a machine and starts feeling like a private passage through the sky, reserved for those who understand that the ultimate luxury is not owning the world below, but moving through it without resistance. This is elite world, and this is the Embraer Praetor 600.